Hey team, it's Mr. MacD. You get to the sub today, so here's the drill. You're going to do the warm-up and then hit play, check your answers, and you have a few example problems you'll take notes on. Raise your hand if you have any questions. The sub will pause the video and go over the answer on the board. Then you have a lot of independent practice problems to do for preparation for your test tomorrow. If you haven't finished the warm-up, go ahead and press pause, finish it, then press play when you're ready. If you got 17/12, you're on the right track. We need to change this to a mixed number, so I'm thinking, how many times does 12 fit evenly into 17? And it goes in one time with 5 left over. 1 and 5/12 is your answer for number 1. For number 2, if you have division or multiplication problems with a mixed number, the first step is to get the mixed into an improper. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11, bring down the 4. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11, bring down the 3. When you have division problems, you can't cross-cancel until you change it to multiplication. So keep the first, flip the second, and change the sign to multiply. 11 can cross-cancel with 11, and it becomes 1. 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4. If you don't have the workboard of paper, you need to have it now. 1 3/5 is a mixed number. Change it to improper. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. It's multiplication, so I can cross-cancel. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. Multiply across. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 times 3 is 3. This one is 4 to 5 points. You have to simplify it. I'm thinking in my head, 3 goes into 16 5 times without going over. And there's 1 left over. 5 and 1/3 is my answer. The challenge was a bit tricky. If you set it up like division, you're on the right track to get the answer. It would be 5/4 times 2 over 1, or 5 over 2. 2 and 1/2 cups. Just like the last 2 days, when we go over the examples and your independent work, I need to see the operation that you're guessing after you annotate and before you get the answer. You should have an operation next to your work. Students will be able to review for fractions test number 2. As we read, go ahead and annotate, box your keyword, circle your number. At Audubon Park, 1/10 of the space is taken up by the zoo. The zoo needs to be split into 4 main areas. For the major types of animals, what fraction of the park will each area of the zoo be? I'm thinking through this, and I'm going to get a picture in my head. We have this space here, which is 1/10 of this park, and we're going to split this thing up into 4 main areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm splitting something up, I'm probably dividing. My keyword is split. Let's see if that works. What am I splitting up? I'm splitting up the 1/10 of the space into 4 sections. Before I cross cancel, let's keep, flip, and change. 1 times 1 is 1, 10 times 4 is 40. So each spot takes up 1/40. 1/40th of the park. Is each area. Example 2, Dennis has 1.5 gallons of gas. He uses 1/3 of it to drive to the store. How much gas did he use to drive to the store? Circle your numbers. I'm scanning for a keyword. He uses. Okay, so that's either subtraction, but I see it's 1/3 of a number. That tells me that it is going to be multiplication. The 1/3 isn't 1/3 gallons. It's 1/3 of the whole gas tank. So I'm going to start with 1 1/2, and I'm going to multiply it by 1/3. When you have a mixed number, change it to an improper fraction before you multiply. Cross cancel 3 with 3. He uses 1/2 gallon. And I was thinking it was multiplication, so I put that there before I did the problem. Last example, before your soccer game, you filled a water cooler with 4.5 gallons of water. You forgot to close the plug before you began filling the cooler, and 1 5/6 gallons leaked out. A few things I'm noticing. Leaking out means it's like getting less, and gallons is the same label. That's the same unit. So if I have a same unit, I'm probably adding or subtracting, and if it's leaking out of the cooler, I'm probably subtracting it. There's the cooler, and I'm looking for how much water is in the cooler after it leaks out. There's before. And then it leaks out to have that much. 1 5/6 of the water leaks out. So I'm going to take away 1 5/6 minus 4.5. Stack because you're adding or subtracting. And I can't subtract these. 2 and 6 have different denominators. So let's make 1/2 into a 6. What's the LCM of 2 and 6? Well, that's just 6. So let's make that 2 into a 6 by multiplying by 3. 4 and 3/6. Minus 1 and 5/6. I can't do it. 3 minus 5 won't work. The good guys don't win, so let's borrow from the adults. That turns into a 3, and they give us a whole number that's just disguised as a fraction. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 minus 5/6 is 4/6. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 and 4/6 is close to your answer. Let's simplify it. Divide by 2. 2 and 2/3 gallons left in the cooler is your answer. Okay, take 3 minutes to work on 1 and 2 in partners. Then move on to independent practice. Hopefully you have about 20 to 30 minutes independently to work on this and prep for the test. That's the way the cookie crumbles. As always, have fun.